the Timothy Award for Outstanding Service and is being given to Michaela Murray. Michaela graduated in 2012 and moved to Georgia to become a teacher. Within her first year of teaching, a letter to the editor was submitted to the local paper. I think it will be easiest for me to introduce Michaela and her servant's heart by reading this letter. Dear editor, I'm writing this letter not because of any negativity, hatred, ill feelings, or being upset about anything. Rather, I would like to tell everyone that we truly are blessed to have a dedicated teacher and staff personnel at Waynesboro Primary School. I would like to start at the beginning and give a complete picture of my experience with the most loving, caring, compassionate teacher I have ever known. I am a 65-year-old handicapped grandmother with total custody of 2 grandsons, ages 7 and 4. When school began, their mother was living in the home but decided to move out and into her own apartment, leaving the boys behind 2 months after school began. Behavior problems were not an issue until the mother moved. In mid-November, the 4-year-old began getting sad faces, became a threat to other children in the class, and started acting out. A parent-teacher conference was attended, and this information was exposed to his teacher, Michaela Murray. We both knew the behavior was his way of acting out because of his mother's moving out of the home. As I stated, I'm a handicapped 65-year-old living off Social Security and SSA widow's benefit. My resources are very limited. There are times that I have problems paying even the electric bill. So at this point, buying Christmas toys and most needed winter clothes for the boys was just out of sight. I was put on the list for the boys to get a food snack pack at school on Fridays to help us out. The week before Christmas, I received a call from Miss Murray asking if it would be all right if she spoke to her mother, brother, and grandmother about getting the boys a gift for Christmas from Santa. I had only been able to get them 2 $5 gifts each. I then received a phone call to pick up a toy for each of the boys from Toys for Tots. Miss Murray had had the boys added to the list. Christmas Eve came and Miss Murray asked if her family could drop off the gifts. I can't begin to tell you all this family did. I will never be able to tell you the feelings in my heart. The love that came from this experience is something I will never forget as long as I live. I was so overwhelmed and tears just flowed. I was so touched because this teacher and her family didn't just buy gifts for a student in her class, but bought gifts for his brother and also included me. We're not just talking about toys, books, and school supplies. There were clothes, shoes, jackets, food, a whole ham, turkey, a bag of sweet potatoes, and Irish potatoes. They bought personal hygiene items such as toilet tissue, soap, and paper towels. On Christmas morning, the boys were so excited, and all I could do was cry and thank God for such a truly loving, caring, and compassionate family. I still cry when I think back on this event. Miss Murray's love for her students has not stopped even today as I write this letter. Signed, Miss Brenda Banks. In this letter, it mentions Michaela's mom and grandma as people who helped carry out this act of kindness. Ruth Ann and Retha are both here tonight, along with their extended family. And guess what? All 3 are Bethel alumni. 3 generations of alumni transforming their community together with the love of Christ. Would you please welcome and honor Miss Michaela Murray.
I almost made it through that time without crying. Every time I read that letter, I cry. I'm humbled and blessed to stand before you this evening as the recipient of the Timothy Award. It's an honor to represent the current students and alumni of such a prestigious institution, and one that I don't take lightly. And I will continue to strive each day to be the hands and feet of Jesus and be worthy to have received this award. The question was asked of me how Bethel shaped my life. And immediately After that question was asked, another question came in my mind. How has Bethel not shaped my life? The truth is, Bethel has impacted my life before I was even born. And continues to impact my life on a daily basis. My grandma, hi Grandma, Rita graduated from Bethel in 1968. She received her degree in elementary education as a non-traditional student with 4 small children at home. Her degree allowed her to obtain a career as a teacher and supplement the $100 a month that my grandpa made as a pastor. God provided her with an education when she did not see that it was possible, and in turn provided for her family, my family. My mom, Ruth Ann, graduated Bethel in 1984 with a degree in business administration. She put herself through college, working a full-time job and taking up to 19 credit hours a semester. Her time here not only impacted her life spiritually, but taught her with hard work, dedication, and the strength of God she could finish strong, even when things were difficult. The work ethic and faith that she developed in college, coupled with her education, allowed her to successfully take care of my brother and me when tough times fell on our family and she became a single mother. So before I ever stepped foot on this campus, I knew the name of this school or what it stood for. It shaped me. It molded those who molded me, and in turn had a great impact on how I was raised and what my family believed. If the impact of Bethel stopped there, if the impact Bethel had on my life ended there, I would still be grateful and blessed for the experiences and how this institution shaped my family. My personal journey started at Bethel in August of 2007. It's funny, because when I chose Bethel, I thought it was because I couldn't find a Walmart at Indiana Wesleyan University. I love Walmart. And I couldn't find it when I went to visit Iowa, but I could find it when I came here, so. But looking back, it was a God-ordained decision. I was at Bethel for multiple reasons that he would reveal to me over the 4.5 years I spent here. I found community at Bethel. God taught me what it was like to live and move in a community of like-minded people. It was a blessing to have Christian friends that desired to learn more about God, do Bible study together, and push one another to not only be a better person, but to love God and others more. I found my people at Bethel. Some of them are sitting right at that table over there. People who love you regardless of what you do, but aren't afraid to pull you aside and speak the truth in love when it's necessary. The kind of people who pull you back and help you get on the right track. My freshman roommate is still my best friend and challenges me to serve God on a daily basis. Of course, I had a phenomenal education at Bethel. There were professors that I had were remarkable, and the coursework was rigorous. There were classes that stretched my academic abilities, like philosophy with Dr. Stump, when I went and sat on his couch and told him I'm used to getting A's, and I have a C in your class. I'm a philosophical retard, I need no help. And it worked. Somehow, by the grace of God, I got an A in this class. And there's some that stretched my faith, like exploring the Christian faith with Dr. Bob Laurent. But with each class, I grew as a person and was slowly shaped into the person I am today. I found God at Bethel. I became a Christian at age 15, but did not really know what that meant to serve Him until my time here. Through chapel, dorm Bible studies, classes, and conversations with professors and friends, I was challenged to live a life abandoned to Christ. God started stirring my heart for missions here. And even though I didn't go on a mission trip or a semester abroad, during my time here, It was through the stories of other people that I knew one day those doors would be open. As I prepared for my 4th trip to the Dominican Republic, I now realize that even though international missions is something that is truly amazing, there is a whole mission field as soon as I step out my door in the morning. I have 22 students every year that walk through my door, and families that come with them that need love and need direction in a broken community. Lastly, I'm going to try to get through this last part without crying, I'm sorry. Lastly, I found grace and forgiveness at Bethel. For 10 years of my life, I held a lot of hurt and unforgiveness. When I was 15, I asked Jesus to be my Savior and forgive the people who had hurt me. However, I was still dealing with all the issues of inadequacy and striving for perfection when I came to campus. As a lost freshman, God knew what He was doing when He placed me in Block 5 with Dr. Scott Johnson. Dr. Scott was among one of the first men I trusted after my dad left our family. He was sincere, and he cared for his students, and there was something different about his attitude that just seemed to resonate with me. He pushed me to be a better version of myself, whether it was on the rope course of a summer camp or at the block Christmas party where he taught us all how to salsa dance. He was a man of integrity and honesty. He helped me to see that just because I may not be perfect in coursework, friendships, or life in general, and that I will fall and I will fail, that did not mean that I was unimportant or inadequate, especially to God. I still find myself saying the words He taught us. Inhale grace and exhale gratitude, almost on a daily basis, and try to live by them every day. He was a wonderful man of God, and God used him as an instrument to help heal me. He is used by many, but I know he is rejoicing in heaven with our Father. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans for a hope and for a future." I am thankful that God's plans are bigger than my plans. I will be ever grateful that the plans He had for me and for my family included Bethel College. I have been blessed through the impact of this college has had in my life, and pray that it will continue to bless others throughout years to come.